וישובו מתור הארץ מקץ 40 יום. והמרגלים come back after 40 days. So Rashi on the spot brings the medrash. How is it possible that they did it in 40 days? The Gemara in Megillah Gimel Amud Aleph says the size of Eretz Yisrael is 400 parsa by 400 parsa. Psochim Tzadi Dalet, we learn a person walks, an average guy walks how many parsas a day? 10. So how you tell me they did 400 parsa by 400 parsa in 40 days? All you can do is one direction. East to west, north to, I don't know how, but you can't do both. 10 parsa a day times 40 is 400 parsa. Boop, time's up, you have to go back. And you're saying they did le'orka u le'rochba. How is it possible? Says Rashi, it must be that somehow HaKadosh Baruch Hu shortened the way for them. It doesn't say the language kafza le'em haderech. It says kitzra. Kitzer lefaneim es haderech. That's what Rashi explains. But many wonder, within those 40 days, Shabbos, a bunch of Shabbases. You want to tell me they walked on Shabbos? So how did they walk on Shabbos 10 parsa, which is 40 mil, which is much more than Tchum Shabbos, no matter according to who? How does it work? Comes the Sefer Sofas Machos. This is a remarkable Chiddush. In Gittin Nun Zayin Amud Aleph we learn that after the destruction of Beis HaMikdash, Klal Yisrael go to Galus, you know what happens to the land? It shrinks and it contracts. And the Gemara says, why is it called deer land? Eretz Tzvi. Just like when the skin of the deer is on it, when it's around, when it's alive, it's expand. When it dies, it shrinks. So too this land. When Klal Yisrael is not here, it contracts. When we're there, it expands. And he says, I heard that when he contracted, it diminished to a size of 100 parsa by 100 parsa. Used to be 400 parsa by 400. Then it went down to 100 and 100. So he says, it must be the same before we entered the land. Same will apply. As long as we are not there, it's for us. If we're not there, it's the same size as after the destruction when you go to Galus. So man, it's 100 by 100 by 100. You take 10 parsa a day times 10. So in 10 days you cover 100 parsa. Another 10 days for another 100 parsa. Le'orka u le'rochba. With length. Now you have to come back. They went back diagonally. Sukkah Daf Ches Amud Aleph. If you have an amma, so diagonal, the Gemara says it's an amma in trei chumshe, in 2/5. What's 2/5 of 10? It's 4. So you have 10 days and another 10 days and another 14 days to come back. Leaves you with 34 and 6 Shabbos is in the middle. Perfect. Ay, 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 ay. Comes the Imremes, not the Imremes, the Hasidic Imremes that we all know. Rabbi Chiel Mechel Goldschlag. And he says, don't tell me that on Shabbos they didn't go. For sure they did. He says it could be that for the sake of Shabbos, kafz alayim haderech on weekdays, which means they intended to walk on Shabbos, and maybe they did. But they didn't go out of the tchum of Shabbos. Because on weekdays they covered much more ground. That's what Rashi means. When it says that kafz alayim haderech, it doesn't mean for every single day. Weekdays it covered the ground that they have to cover for Shabbos. Maybe on Shabbos they didn't have to violate Shabbos. Great. Comes at Tzemach David and says they did walk on Shabbos. Your regular Eser Pasa. Why? Because when HaKadosh Baruch Hu tells you to walk, it's now a mitzvah. If HaKadosh Baruch Hu says to eat chazir because it's a pekuach nefesh, and doctor says, so you have the mitzvah to eat the chazir. They had a mitzvah from Ribono Shel Olam to walk, and therefore they walked. With that, he explains. When Yeshua and Caleb start speaking, what's the reaction of the people? They wanted to stone them. Only Yeshua and Caleb. Why do you want to stone them from all the things in the world? Because the Meraglim said, this is a dangerous place. We were in a sakana. We had to walk on Shabbos. Oh, it's not a violation of Shabbos. Yeshua and Caleb says, no, it's a great place. You kidding me? South Silam, don't worry, don't be afraid. It's a great place, which means it's not dangerous. It's not dangerous, so how come you walked on Shabbos? Oh, you violated Shabbos. Lirgom oisem be'avanim skila for a mechalel Shabbos. Don't be afraid, Yeshua. You're afraid, so how come you walked on Shabbos? Chalel Shabbos, chayav skila. Ha Megdavar has a big chiddush. he diffuses the whole question of Rashi. And he says, really, they didn't all go together. You're right, you sent 12 people, but they didn't all go together. They were divided in groups of 2. 2 went this direction, 2 went here, 2 went here, 2 went here, and they covered the whole ground with 40 days, no problem. That's his ma'alach. I think in a different way. Based on Hadar Zkenim Alator. Hadar Zkenim is Balei HaTosfos. And they bring a medrash. Omar Rabbi Yochanan. You know what the height of the Meraglim was? They weren't average people. We said the Gemara in Psochim Tzadi Daled says, an average person walks 10 parsa a day. They were not average. Each one of them was 60 amma. Eluvim Mem Ches Amud Aleph, we learned that a normal person is, an average person, 3 amos. They're not normal. They're 20 times the size of a regular guy. If you're 20 times the size, your stride is much bigger than a regular guy. So if a regular guy walks 10 parsa a day, you're walking, I don't know if you have to multiply it by 20. Don't know. But definitely not 10 parsa. You walk much more than that. So there's no problem to cover the whole ground with 40 days. You can just now imagine what it means when the Meraglim come back and they say, you know what we saw there? Giants! You're saying giants? And they said about themselves, we were like ants, like grasshoppers in their eyes. Do you understand the size of the real giants that they saw? If they themselves are 60 amma tall? You can only imagine.